In this next section of How to Get Up and Running with Bluebeam Review, you'll learn how easy it is to collaborate with others using the Sessions feature in Bluebeam Studio. Now, remember that we discussed earlier that Bluebeam Studio is a cloud collaboration feature that's included with all versions of Bluebeam Review. Using the Sessions feature, you can collaborate with your entire project team, even those that don't have Bluebeam Review. This is a significant feature because it allows us to assemble documents, drawings, photos, and other files into a single online folder and then invite everyone on the project team that needs to be involved in the conversation without worrying about whether or not they own Bluebeam Review. The only requirement is that they download and install a copy of Bluebeam's free file viewer. As long as they have that installed, you can invite them to join a session, and when they log in, they'll be granted access to the same markup and commenting tools that you're using, and they don't have to buy a license to Bluebeam Review. Now, the process for initiating a session is fairly straightforward, and I'm going to demonstrate that here. What I have is on the right side of the screen, Bluebeam Review is open and ready to go, and on the left side of the screen, I have a collection of files that I've brought together in a folder in Window Explorer. Now, I'm going to simply drag those into Bluebeam Review and let Bluebeam open them all up. Once I do that, I can close Windows Explorer. I'm going to go ahead and expand Bluebeam so we can see what we're doing. And you'll see that I can click on the tabs along the top, and I have photos, I have job site specifications, I have some submittals, and I have some drawings. I'm now ready to initiate the studio session. I do that by coming back to the right side of the screen and clicking on the blue Studio tab, and then from this drop-down menu selecting Work Online. Now, if you don't have a Bluebeam Studio account already, it's going to ask you to create one, and if you do, it's going to ask you to log in, which is what I'm going to do here. Once I log in, I can go back to the right side of the screen and click on Start and select New Session from the drop-down menu. A new dialog box is going to open up, and it's going to ask me to name my session, and then it's going to ask me to add files that I want included in this collaboratory session. I'm going to simply click on Add Open Files to add all of those files that we've already drug into Bluebeam. From there, I grant permissions to the users that I'm going to invite, and in this case, I'm going to let them save files, print files, I'm going to let them mark up documents, and alert others to the markup alerts. The only thing I'm not going to allow them to do is add documents. So when I click OK, Bluebeam generates the session, and you'll see here on the right side of the screen that it's now importing all those documents, and I have a new dialog box that's asking me to enter the users that I want to invite to this session. Now, I can invite those users by clicking here to import a group that I've already defined. I can click here to open my address book and select users from my own address book, or I can just click on this button and type in individual email addresses. Once I have them entered, I can click on OK, and you'll see that Bluebeam has sent email invitations to each one of the attendees. Now, as the attendees accept those invitations, they will appear here on the right side of the page in the Attendees pane. It's important to understand that this review session is not necessarily a live session. So attendees that appear here can log in and out. You can leave the session anytime by clicking on Leave. You can use the drop-down menu to work offline, which will download a copy of these documents to your computer so you can work on them and comment offline, and when you come back and log in later, all of your comments will be uploaded to the session and added to everyone else's comments. So this session, this review session, can stay open for days, weeks, or even months, as long as the project needs it to stay open for all of the collaboration to take place. Once the invited users log into this studio session, they have access to all of the markup tools located here on the right side of the screen. They also are able to see everyone's comments and markups located here in the standard Bluebeam Review markup log. So anybody, regardless of whether they own Bluebeam Review or not, that logs into this session can, for instance, click on this dialog box and add any comments that they need to add. When they do that, you'll see that the comment is tracked down here in the review log. From the review log, any user can see all of the comments and all of the markups and can change the status of any of them to accepted, rejected, canceled, or completed as needed. The review log keeps a complete history of all the changes, and the status can be changed and updated as often as needed. Here you'll see that the review pane becomes a permanent log of all of the questions, comments, and markups that have occurred during this collaboration session, making this a very powerful tool for collaboration on any construction project. So in this segment, we introduced you to the concept of Bluebeam Studio sessions and showed you how this feature can be used to collaborate with everyone on the project team, even those that don't own Review, without forcing them to buy a license. This is a very important feature that enables team-wide collaboration and ensures that outside team members, trade contractors, and consultants can all participate without spending money.